Good evening, and welcome to Sports Line Radio. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I am broadcasting live right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio in Baton Rouge. Got a good show planned for you today. Well, no, not really. I'm not going to lie to everybody. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to everybody. Not going to lie. I mean, look, next week's going to be a good show. If you like horse racing, there's no doubt about it. Next year, next week, and in about 3 months from now, we're going to have a good show, hopefully for the start of football season. But, boy, it's going to be tight, man. It's going to be tight for the next 3 months. I ain't going to lie to everybody. We're all together like one big happy family. That's all that really matters to me. We got 3 basketball games being played tonight. I think we got a couple of basketballs playing tomorrow night. Let me make sure. Let me see. What do we have tomorrow in the NBA? We got anything? I'm going to have to check and see. We got none. No basketball mañana. Yep, the 2 games listed, the Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs. There's no line because the Spurs won that series and the Milwaukee Bucks Toronto Raptors. Unfortunately for the MeatMan, there's no game 7 there. I had the Bucks last night. They were losing 71-46. 71-46. I'm watching the draft. I take the cell phone, the iPhone, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a phone. It's something that has a phone on it. I mean, it ain't a phone. I mean, this thing I'm holding in my hand ain't no telephone. I mean, it's got a phone on it, so I just throw it to bed, boom, 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 and next thing you know, it's down to 20, 18, 15, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. I'm like, and he makes a 3. I got a 2-point lead. I can't believe it with 3 minutes to go. And this same team that came all the way back from 25 down forgot how to play basketball the final 3 minutes of the game. It was mind-boggling, especially the final 6, 7 seconds of the game. It was depressing. It was almost like you're playing a roulette wheel and the ball lands in your number and the dealer picks it up and puts it in another number and says, ha! There it is. It's not 13. It's 18. See, that's what it felt like. I mean, you're down 3 points with 5 seconds to go. You don't have any timeouts left. You shoot a 3. You shoot a 3. You don't fake the 3 and then drive it to the basket and dunk it with 2.8 seconds left in the game. That guy makes both free throws. They inbound the ball. He just throws it right to the guy from Toronto, almost like he said, I don't want nothing to do with this anymore. It was depressing. You know, some losses hurt. That one really hurt. I really liked Milwaukee last night. I tell you, I know as a tout, you're not supposed to talk about your losers, but, man, I just had to get that off my mind there, man. That was just a tough game. It was a tough game. It was a tough game. It was a tough game. And all sorts of customers on it, man. They were all calling me at halftime. Then they're all calling in the fourth quarter to apologize for calling me at halftime, all the names they were calling me. And in the end, this wasn't meant to be, brother. Wasn't meant to be. So no NBA on a Saturday. Wow. Just baseball. Just baseball. But that's all right. I like baseball. I like handicapping baseball. The problem is I'm spending most of my time on the NBA because you don't really have a lot of baseball customers this time of year. People usually don't start caring about baseball in the betting world until after the NBA's over. And, of course, that doesn't end until June. I mean, that doesn't end for a while. I mean, you got to remember, we're still in the first round of the NBA playoffs. We still got 3 more rounds to go. I mean, once again, you got teams like Cleveland or San Antonio or Golden State. They can play as many as 21 more games. So if you play a game every other day, that's 42 days right there. So let's say you still got at least 50 days left in the NBA regular season. So that easily takes us to the last couple of days of April, all the way through the month of May, and about halfway into June. But we're going to start picking up a little baseball with the sports services. I had a customer call me today, one of my guys from Hawaii. He's all pissed off at me because I didn't have no baseball games. And I told him to listen to the show. I might have some baseball. I'm going to call him right after the show. I try not to force plays. You got a lot of people that call me up and you give them the one play and they want 5 plays. They want 8 plays. I keep trying to tell them, man, it don't work like that. You just got to play 1 or 2. This is a slow grind. Winning is extremely boring because when you lose, you usually get destroyed. You go 0-7, you lose hundreds and thousands of dollars, and then you finally have a winning week and you might pick up $60, $70. And you can't figure it out. Man, when I lose 800, and when I win, I only win 90. Well, the reason is when you lost, you probably played too many games, and when you win, man, look, anytime you can win money betting on sports, you need to be happy about this. Anytime that you can go to bed with more money in your pocket that you took from that no good piece of I can't say it. What I got to call him, filth. I can't call him what I wanted to call him. You see that? I caught myself. The MeatMan caught himself. I was going to say a bad word on the radio, and I was going to get everybody in trouble. But I caught myself. Anytime you can go to bed with more money in your pocket because you beat that no good, filthy bookie out of his money, that's a good day, man. It don't matter whether it's $5 or $5,000. Any money you can take out of his wallet, you don't realize how these bookies are, man. I mean, you talk about a bunch of crybabies, man. Anytime you can get some of their money, that's a good thing. Anytime you can get in their wallet, that's a good thing. And, well, that's what we're going to try to do. We got 3 basketball games tonight. We got 15 baseball games tonight. We got 15 baseball games tomorrow. And sadly, that's it. Once again, the horse racing. We got the Kentucky Derby next Saturday. I don't really want to start talking about the Kentucky Derby yet because I want to do it next week. We're going to dedicate the whole show next week. The horse race. And I know a lot of people out there going, I don't know about it. I bet it's a Kentucky Derby. It's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. Unless most of us get lucky and get a little booty on the weekend. That lasts usually about 2 minutes also. You know what it is. So, yeah, but this is good. I mean, look, everybody likes betting the horses on the day of the Kentucky Derby. The stars come out. All the rich people come out. All the famous people come out. And everybody's got an opinion, man. Opinions are like the thing in your behind. Everybody's got one. You know what I'm talking about? It's one of those kind of deals. So, but I think I got the winner of the Kentucky Derby. I ain't gonna lie to you. The last couple of years, I've been trying to beat the favorite because the favorite never wins a Kentucky Derby. So usually when you bet in the horses, I was taught a long time ago. The guy came up to me at the fairgrounds. He said, MeatMan, the whole idea behind horse racing, pay attention, kid. And he said, the whole idea behind horse racing, just pick the winner of the race. He said, there's nothing you can do about the price. If the horse is 1-5 and you think he's going to win the race, you bet him. You don't bet him just because he's 1-5 because some other clown thinks he's going to win the race. You got to think you're going to win the race. Because I was up and coming handicap at the time. I was just learning how to read the racing form and knowing all this and that and everything. I know everything in a racing form. There's not one thing you can point to me in a racing form. I don't know what it is. And you got to know how to read that racing form because let me tell you something. If you don't know how to read that thing, you got no chance. You got no chance. So the last couple of years for the Kentucky Derby, I've been trying to beat the favorite. But now the favorite seems to be doing pretty good. So now we're going to look at all 20 horses. We're not just going to look at 18 of the 20 or 15 of the 20. We're going to look at all 20 of them. And if we take the favorite, we take the favorite. If we take the favorite, we take the favorite. Simple as that. We've won 2 races this year. We had 2 winners and 2/3 on the program this year. We won the Arkansas Derby with that Classic Empire or something like that. I forgot what the horse name has Empire in it. And then we won the Louisiana Derby. Remember, the trainer had the 8 and the 9 horse. The 9 horse was the Rabbit. He set the race up great for the 8. And the 8 horse won the race. But they were both favorites. The horse that won the Arkansas Derby, the horse that won the Louisiana Derby. So we might take the favorite in the Kentucky Derby. Who knows? They're going to be putting the odds out, I don't know, sometime next week. What they do is usually they have the post draw, maybe on Wednesday, I think it is. They put it on TV and they pull all the horses, and you don't want the one post. The last horse to win from the one post, Ferdinand, back in 1986, 96, 2006, 2016. So it's been 30 years since the one horse, Ferdinand, with Willie Shoemaker on. I mean, what a race. If you ever have time, you ought to Google the Kentucky Derby the year that Ferdinand won that thing from the one post. That was a hell of a race there, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was a heck of a race. So next week, we're gonna talk nothing but the Kentucky Derby. We're gonna talk nothing but the Kentucky Derby. We're gonna go over all 20 horses. We're going to pick the winner of the race. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get the winner. Then we're going to play the exacta. We're going to play the trifecta. And we're going to play the superfecta. We're going all in, brother. We're going all in. I got to make a score. I'm going back to Las Vegas on May the 10th. I need to hit a superfecta. I need to sign an IRS slip somewhere at the track. Get me some bullets in the gun, brother. So we're going to have a good show next week, unlike this week's show, which is going to stink. But, well, all right. All right, so let's stop talking about what we're going to do next week, and let's start talking about what we're going to do this week. As we've been doing pretty good here on the program, Cap. I mean, if you've been listening to the show, you're definitely making money. You ain't losing no money. I can tell you that right now. Anybody listening to this program, if you're not making any money, you got nobody to blame but yourself, because I'm giving you the information right here on the show. I'm giving it to you right here in the program. There's no reason in the world that anybody out there ain't making no money. And I know if you're going against me, you're getting crushed. You're getting crushed. I love when people go against me. They're the fade. People go, I'm going to fade you, MeatMan. And you like this team, I'm going to take the other team. How do you know I'm not fading somebody else? How do you know I didn't find out another guy's pick, take the exact opposite of his pick, and then you take the exact opposite of my pick, would put you on the pick of the guy that I took the exact opposite of. You got to be careful when you're fading the MeatMan, brother, because you're getting a lot of trouble. You're getting a lot of trouble fading the MeatMan. I'll tell you that right now. So be super careful when you go against me. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll get the party started here today. And we'll talk a little NBA basketball. We got 3 games going tonight. But before we get talking about those 3 contests, I just want to quickly remind everybody that the following information is to be used as news material only and is not intended to violate any state, federal, or local laws. All right, we got 3 games on the card tonight. They got them listed the wrong way. It's kind of funny. The first game on the schedule is the last game on the board tonight. The second game on the schedule is supposed to be the second game on the schedule, and the last game on the schedule is supposed to be the first game on the schedule. The first one is game 5-11, 5-12, the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. Right now at Bookmaker, that's where the line originates. The Atlanta Hawks are a 2 1/2 point home favorite. The total is 209.5. The game opened Atlanta -3. The total 210. So we got a little half-point movement on the side, a little half-point movement on the total. That means the odds makers did a pretty good job on this number right there because it's holding steady. It's holding steady. The home team The home team in the Hawks Wizards series is 5-0. The home team is 5-0, and against the spread, the Washington Wizards they covered the first 2 games against the spread at home. Then the Atlanta Hawks covered the next 2 at home. Then Game 5 in Washington, the Wizards were a 6-point favorite, and they won the game by 4. So Atlanta has covered 3 straight against the Washington Wizards. This is a tough game right here. This is the kind of game you just leave alone. This is the kind of game you just leave alone. I mean, the Washington Wizards against the spread this year, 44-42-1. The Atlanta Hawks are 42-45 against the spread. Washington, the over-under, 53 overs, 33 unders, and 1 push. The Atlanta Hawks, 34 unders, 50 overs, and 3 ties. So you got the Washington Wizards that love going over the total. You got the Atlanta Hawks that love going under the total. You got the home team 5-0 in the series straight up, 4-1 against the spread. This is a tough game right here. This is a tough game right here. I'm going to leave this game alone. I'm not even going to share an opinion. The home team has won 9 out of the last 10 meetings between these two. On January 27th, 2017, the Washington Wizards went into the Atlanta Hawks and they won the game 112-86. It was a blowout. They blew them out. So I don't know now. Once again, the team looking to close out. I got to do this off the top of my head. Cleveland was up 3-0 on Indiana, and they closed out in Game 4. The Houston Rockets were up 3-1 against Oklahoma City, and they closed them out in Game 5. The Golden State Warriors were up 3-0, and they won Game 4 and closed out the Portland Trailblazers in 4 games. So you got the Cleveland Cavaliers 1-0 in the closeout game. You got the Golden State Warriors 2-0 in the closeout game. You got the Houston Rockets 3-0 in the closeout game. So did the Memphis Grizzlies last night lose to the San Antonio Spurs? San Antonio closed them out, so the team looking to close out 4-0. And the Toronto Raptors, they close out the Milwaukee Bucks. So the team that had 3 wins and had a chance to close out the series at 5-0. I don't know who I'm missing. I guess I'm missing the 3 games that we got tonight. So Washington is looking to close out Atlanta. Once again, the team looking to close out the series. The first team that got the 3 games, the 3 wins, they won the next game. 5-0. 5-0. Now tonight, you got Washington and Atlanta. Washington looking to close out the series, and they're getting points. Because Cleveland closing out their series, they were the favorite. Golden State looking to close out their series, they were the favorite. The Houston Rockets looking to close out their series, they were the favorite. The San Antonio Spurs looking to close out their series in the last game, they were the favorite. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, Toronto Raptors, Milwaukee opened the favorite. Then Toronto became a 1-point favorite, and it closed Milwaukee -1. But so that was just so close. Some places had Pickett, and this and that and the other thing. So, you got, one of those deals where, it's too close to call. It's too close to call. And all 3 games tonight are closeout series. All 3 games tonight, the team is looking to close out. I'm going to pass on the Washington-Atlanta game. I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to let that one go. Let's talk about the middle game. The Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. Right now at bookmaker Chris, Costa Rica International Sports. They got the Boston Celtics a 2.5 point road favorite. The over-under is a 203.5. They opened this game a pick, and boom, it quickly went to 2, and then it went to 2.5. Some places actually have 3s out there. The total opened 204. It's down to 203.5. So we really haven't seen any kind of movement on the total there. I'm going to come back to this. I'm in a situation here where I'm either going to bet the Bulls or I'm not going to bet the game. I'm either going to bet Chicago or I'm not going to play it. I mean, Chicago wins the first 2 in Boston. Looks like Boston, the Celtics, are going to be the worst number 1 seed in the history of sports. Now they're up 3-2. They've managed to win the next 3. And, wow, I don't know, man. I don't know. I tell you, see, the problem is there's no Rajon Rondo. But when he went out, that hurt. That hurt the Boston Celtics, Chicago Bulls series. Because he was in the game for the Bulls when they won the first 2 against the Celtics, and he hasn't been in the game the last 3. And it says Rajon Rondo is downgraded to expected to miss Friday against Boston. The problem is Jimmy Butler. He's all banged up. He's probable tonight, so he's probably going to play. You got Isaiah Thomas. He's leaving immediately after the game to go to his sister's funeral. So is this going to be one of these games where he comes up big, playing for his sister before the funeral? Is it going to be one of these games where he's going to be distracted and maybe doesn't play as good as he could or should, and then goes to the funeral and he goes back to Boston and wins at home with the crowd and all that? I'm not sure how to look at this game. I'll never forget. I'll give you all a quick story. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm at the Stardust. And they got breaking news. It's Monday night. Breaking news comes over the TV. Brett Favre's father has passed away. Brett Favre's dad passed away. The phone's ringing off the hook. MeatMan, what should I do? What should I do? I said, the Raiders never lose on Monday night. The greatest team in the history of Monday Night Football, the Oakland Raiders. They're going to play Green Bay tonight. Brett Favre just lost his father. He's not going to be able to concentrate. He's going to be thinking about going to the funeral. I love the Oakland Raiders more than life itself. I must have gave that pick out because that was in my heyday. That's when I was doing a 3-hour-a-day show in Las Vegas. I had customers coming out to Yin Yang. I gave them all the Raiders, man. I said the Raiders are the lock. Brett Favre throws like 5 or 6 touchdown passes. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this dude threw passes. I was mind-boggling how he dropped them all in there. Pass after pass after pass. And, I mean, Oakland just couldn't have looked any worse. The final score was like 40-something to 6 or something like that. I mean, Green Bay beat the ever-living tar out of Oakland that day. And that's why I don't do the death thing anymore, the death trend. You know, ever since Green Bay, ever since that game, you'll never hear me say, well, this guy's father died, I like the other team. Or this guy's mother died, I'm going to go with motivation, this, that, another thing. That don't work. I'll never forget that game. The other game I'll never forget in Vegas, not to change the subject. Hawaii is playing on a Thursday night. They play in Boise State. And they're getting 20-something points. And this Timmy Chang guy, he's 1 touchdown pass away from setting the NCAA record or tying the record, and he's 2 touchdown passes away from breaking the NCAA touchdown record. So the phone's ringing off the hook. Everybody's calling a MeatMan. What should I do? I said, look, we're getting 28 points to start the game. I did this Timmy Chang guy, he's trying to break the record. 1 touchdown pass, he ties the record. 2 touchdown passes, he has the record. That gives us 42 points. I said, Boise State, they got to score almost 50 to beat us. What a call. Probably the worst call I've ever made in my life. Timmy Chang set the record, all right. He had 8 interceptions. He threw like 10 interceptions in the game. He threw no touchdowns. And Boise State beat him 70-7. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, boy, you're not going to be selling a lot of picks telling stories like this. How do you make any money, MeatMan, when all you do is tell us about your losers? Well, that's just 2 particular games. Believe me, I can tell you about a lot of games that the MeatMan's won, Cap. Especially if you go to the payafteryouwin.com message board. What happened was with Pay After You Win, I lost the line feed. They wanted too much money. I'm not spending $10,000 a year on a line feed, so I'm working on something else. So what I did was I put up a message board at payafteryouwin.com, and I put up 1 free pick every day. If you don't go get that 1 free pick every day, you're insane. That is an absolute moneymaker. That's an absolute moneymaker. I mean, I put the free pick up every day. I give you 2 places that you can bet it at. I give you the exact correct line. I don't fudge the line. I don't do anything with the point spread, none of that nonsense. I give you exactly what the line is supposed to be. And I tell you, you don't win every night. Nobody wins every night, but we easily hitting 60%. And I mean, no big money lines, nothing like that. I mean, any baseball game we play, we're definitely usually on an underdog. I mean, you really need to check this out every day about 5 o'clock Central Time, right about the time this program comes on every Friday, or 9-10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. About 5 o'clock Central Time every day. You should go to payafteryouwin.com, payafteryouwin.com. You go get that free pick. I had a guy call me today. He goes, hey, the pick you gave me today was the free pick that you got up on the website. And he's yelling and screaming at me. Yeah, well, he ain't yelling and screaming. He's upset. And I said, Cap, I mean, sometimes that's just how it goes. Because I lost last night with the free pick with the Memphis Grizzlies. I put up the Memphis Grizzlies. How they lost is beyond me. I mean, I tell you, I lost both games last night, and I don't know which one was more amazing than I lost. The Grizzlies game or the Milwaukee Bucks game. I don't know, Memphis or Milwaukee. I don't know which one was worse. So tonight, I want to come back strong. So I put my number 1 pick up there, and I had to explain to the guy. He gave me a few bucks, and I don't intend to charge the guy again anytime soon. And I don't upsell nobody, and I never tell anybody to do this or bet more in the game than you should and all of that stuff. And I just had to explain to him and calm him down a little bit. I said, don't worry about it. If the play I give you is the free play, I'll just give you another day. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm here to help you try to win, man. I'm here to help you try to win. If I know if I can make you a winner, I'm going to get money out of the deal. That's how I look at it. Instead of me trying to scam you, instead of me trying to rip you off and make money off of you, I'm going to try to actually put you in the winner's circle. I'm going to try to drill into your head that if you can hit 56, 57, 58% of your games, you're going to do great in life. And what a lot of people don't realize, let's say you hit 58%, which means you would go 58 and 42 out of every 100 games. Well, during the 58 wins, you're going to have winning streaks, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. You might win 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. But then in the 42 losses, you're going to have a couple of days in a row where you might lose every day. You might lose 2, 3, 4 days in a row. That's why you got to stay consistent. I had a guy today calls me today. He wants to bet $1,000 on a game. I said, how much you normally bet a game? He goes, $100. He goes, my buddy's going to loan me $1,000 to bet on a game. Do you have a guaranteed pick? I told him no. I said, no. I said, I ain't going to lie to you. I said, don't be putting don't borrow $1,000 from some guy to bet on a basketball game. You don't know who's going to win. You don't know what's going to happen tonight. Hopefully I talked him off of it. Any other service, the guy on the other end of the phone that answered the phone, he would have been salivating Oh, put 2,000 on it. Put 5. Because the more you bet, the more I'm going to ask you for. Not the MeatMan. I want to keep you in the game, Cap, because I know over the long haul I can beat this filthy bookie. I used to be a bookie. I know how to beat him. I know how to beat him. I know how to beat him. I know how to read lines. You know, a lot of times I don't handicap the game. A lot of times you handicap the line. A lot of times you look at the point spread and you say to yourself, man, that just don't look right. You know, sometimes there's an old saying, if it looks like a trap and it smells like a trap and it feels like a trap, there's a good chance it is a trap, Cap. So you got to be careful out there. You got to be careful. Well, speaking of being careful, man, it's already after 5:30. It's already after 5:30, so we got to take a break. We got to take a quick commercial break here. When we come back, I'm going to give you my pick, my lock of the night in the Utah Jazz Los Angeles Clippers matchup. And then we're going to talk Major League Baseball. There's 15 games for today, 15 games for tomorrow. And we've been red hot Major League Baseball here on the program, and we're going to see if we can't keep that going. So don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to Sportsline with Dave the MeatMan Scandaliato. And we're doing it all right here like one big, happy, dysfunctional family on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Sorry about that. I'll take another break in 10 minutes. So what's the plans this weekend? What's the plans this weekend? Oh, really? What's tomorrow, the draft? Yes. You there? You there? We're all right? Can you hear me? You froze up there for a second. All right. All right. I'm going to do this. This will be a quick. Go ahead. This will be. All right. This will be a quick segment here. I'll do a quick segment and then come back and do the last segment, all baseball. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline. Don't forget, you can listen to Sportsline every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio in Baton Rouge. And don't forget, next week, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody who likes to bet the horses, man, you are not going to get a better hour of horse racing that you're going to get right here on 910 AM WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge next week. I'm going over all 20 horses. We're going to pick the winner, the exacta, the trifecta, the superfecta. We're going for it all, brother. We're going for a big score. This is the kind of show next week where you actually want to tell your friends about it. You know, you go, you're going to bet the Kentucky Derby, you might want to listen to this guy. Especially if you're going to be playing some boxes. You're going to play a tri box. You're going to play a superfecta box where you take a bunch of horses and you throw them all together and go for the best. Like, for example, a 3-horse box costs you $6. A 12-horse box, a 4-horse box costs you $24. A 5-horse box costs you $120. Basically, let's say you're playing a trifecta. And in the trifecta, you got to hit first, second, and third. So if you take 5 horses, it's 5 times 4 times 3. So that'd be $60. If you play it for $2, it'd be $120. So if you play a 5-horse tri box, which is probably what we're going to do here on the program for $1, we'll play a 5-horse tri box. That's going to cost us $60. And then for the superfecta, you figure out the superfecta the same way. It's 5 times 4, which is 20, times 3, which is 60. But then the superfecta, you got to pick the first 4 horses. So then it's times 2. So a 5-horse superfecta box costs you $120. A 5-horse tri box is going to cost you $60. And then we'll make some exactas. And then, of course, once again, we're going to bet the big money on the horse's nose. I'm going to get my $500 back. I don't know if you heard me earlier in the week. I called and asked my man TK, Thomas Chrysan. I asked him, the bookmaker, the guy at Bookmaker, he nailed where Leonard Fournette was going to get picked. I don't know where he got the information or who he got it from, but Bookmaker had the over-under on when Leonard Fournette was going to get picked, and the over-under was 4.5. And I called TK, and he just didn't think that it wasn't anything against Leonard Fournette. He just didn't think that any team would take a running back that high. And I didn't bet the whole 500 on it, but I did put 200 on it. And I just had a funny feeling when Roger Goodell came up there, he was going to call Leonard Fournette's name out. That guy at Bookmaker, he got me. I'll be the first guy to admit. He snaked the MeatMan. I'm going to get my money back tonight, though, because next week I'm going to OTB parlor. Because remember, when you bet the horses on the computer, a lot of times they don't give you track odds. Remember that. A lot of times you don't get the track odds. So you want to make sure you get the track odds. So if you're betting superfectas and trifectas and all that on an offshore sports book, you definitely want to be super careful because they have max payouts. You hit a trifecta that pays $8,000-$10,000, they might only give you $2,500. Now, granted, you won't have to sign for the IRS voucher, but you got to be super careful when you're playing the horses offshore. Now, you have a legal betting site here in America, TVG, or one of those kind of places. You get track odds, you get the whole 9 yards. Of course, if you hit something big over 600 to 1, you're going to have to sign for it. You're going to have to pay your taxes. But we'll talk about all of that next week. Now, there was one NBA game that we didn't talk about. That happens to be the free play up at payafteryouwin.com. I like the Utah Jazz tonight, minus the 5.5 against the Los Angeles Clippers. All 3 games tonight are closeout games. Boston's got a chance to close out the Chicago Bulls. Washington Wizards have a chance to close out the Atlanta Hawks, and the Utah Jazz have a chance to close out the Los Angeles Clippers. The Utah Jazz are the only team at home, and they've had a great home record, 30-13 at home. 30-13 at home. The only thing that scares me is the Clippers have been known to play well in Utah. And that does make me a little nervous, but I'm not worried about it tonight, man. The Clippers, man, every year they go into playoffs, every year they overrated, and every year they get knocked out. Every year the Clippers, they can't make free throws down the stretch, and everybody gets hurt. Blake Griffin's hurt and all that, and I'm pretty sure Utah's firing on all cylinders tonight, so I like the Utah Jazz tonight. I think Utah is going to close out the Los Angeles Clippers, and I think Utah is a better team. I think Utah is going to win the game tonight. And when Utah wins a game tonight, I think they're going to cover the spread. Yeah, it could be close. It could be tight. But my best bet, my first pick for the program today, my absolute lock of the night, I'll take the Utah Jazz at home, minus the 5.5 against the Los Angeles Clippers. Of course, anybody who knows me knows I'm going to buy the half a point. I'm going to knock it down to 5. So instead of betting 110 to win 100 minus 5.5, I'm going to buy the half a point, and I'm going to bet 120 to win $100 on the Utah Jazz. Let's take the Utah Jazz tonight. Plus minus the 5, minus $1.20. And once again, that's the free pick that I got up at payafteryouwin.com, the new sports forum message board. And don't forget, you can get a free play every day at the new sports forum message board at payafteryouwin.com. At first, I was only putting them up once or twice a week. But the whole month of April, I put up a free pick every day, and I've hit well over 60%. Anybody who's taking that free pick every day at payafteryouwin.com on a new sports forum message board, you're making money. And that makes me happy. That makes me happy because I want to see you make money, Cap. I want to see you make money. Believe me, anybody taking money from that no good, filthy bookie puts a smile on the MeatMan's face. Take the Utah Jazz tonight, minus the 5.5. If you can buy the half a point, knock it down to 5, that's good. If you got to lay the 5.5, no problem. Lay the 5.5. Take the Utah Jazz tonight, minus the points at home against the Los Angeles Clippers in a closeout game. All the games tonight are closeout games. All the games tonight. We got 5 series that have already ended. The team looking to close out is 5-0. They're 5-0. The team looking to close out the series is 5-0 straight up. I know Cleveland, I think Cleveland pushed in their game. I'm pretty sure Golden State covered the spread in their game. I'm pretty sure the Houston Rockets didn't cover the spread in their closeout game. I know the Toronto Raptors covered the spread in their closeout game, and I know the San Antonio Spurs covered the spread on their closeout game. So, hey, hopefully we can keep this going tonight with the team looking to close out. Like I said, 5-0 straight up, and a little winning record against the spread. So, hopefully we'll keep it going. We'll take the Utah Jazz tonight, minus the points. All right, I think we got to take a break. I think we got to take one more break. Don't forget, a quick reminder, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, Sportsline Radio, right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. And, of course, don't forget that I YouTube the show every week. I tape the show, I put it up on YouTube, and that way if you miss it, you'll be able to hear the rebroadcast, especially next week. Remember, if you miss the show next week, you'll be able to go on YouTube about 2 hours after the program, and you'll be able to watch the show on YouTube. So we're going to have a lot of fun next week for the Kentucky Derby show. We're going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully not only that you tune in, but you tell as many people as possible to tune in as well. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take that final commercial break for today's program. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Major League Baseball. We've been hot picking baseball right here in the program, Cap. So whatever you do, don't touch that dial. You're listening to Sportsline with Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and you're doing it right here, Cap, 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Yeah, well, who are you talking to? Right? Gotcha. All right. Well, and you had to tell him 5 times? Oh, I got you. All right. I ain't talking about. You give people too much credit. Right. Well, I used to do that myself, and then I realized that was the bad idea. Right. All right. All right. And welcome back to Sports Line Radio, the final 10 minutes of live broadcasting on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, for Monday through Friday. Of course, we got the Carlos Brown Show tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for that. All right, let's talk some baseball. The final couple of minutes of the show here. Let's go ahead and this is a tough pick right here. This is a tough pick, but, sometimes you just got to make a tough pick. Let's go ahead and take the Philadelphia Phillies on the road against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, there's one reason that I want to bet against the Dodgers, and then there's one reason why normally I wouldn't bet against them. But the guy going for the Dodgers, this Maeda guy, he's 1-2 this year with an 8.05 ERA. Now, you pitch one game, you got an 8.05 ERA, that's all right. 2 games. But once you get to the 3rd game of the season, and you got an ERA of 8.05, you should never be a $1.80 favorite. A guy like that should never be minus $1.80. I mean, I tell you, he has a 7 ERA at home. He's got a 9 ERA on the road. And, man, I tell you, this isn't really the kind of guy that you want to be laying all that big juice on. Now, the guy going for the Phillies, his ERA this year is a 2.92. So, I mean, now, of course, once again, it's early in the season, so, I mean, anything can happen. But Philadelphia right now, they're 11-9 on the season. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they're 11-12. So just based on that, and based on the line, there's just no way you should lay $1.80 tonight with the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is a value play right here. Everybody knows I hate saying the word value. If there's one word that I hate saying on the radio, is value. But there's value here because the guy who is pitching as bad as the starting pitcher tonight for the Los Angeles Dodgers, he shouldn't be that big of a favorite, man. You're never going to get ahead in life laying $1.80 in a baseball game. Remember, when you lay $1.80 in a baseball game, if you hit 60%, you win 6 times. You win $100 6 times, you win $600. But remember, though, you lose $1.80 4 times. You lose $720. So even though you're hitting 60%, you're still getting crushed You're getting crushed. When you're laying $1.80, you got to win 7 out of every 10 games that you bet in order to break even, and that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I mean, what are we going to have this year in Major League Baseball? What, one team maybe? One team maybe that wins 100 games? So, man, baseball is a game of numbers. Remember, my goal is to just try to go 50% in Major League Baseball. I'm just trying to win 50% of the time. If I can win 50% of the time, and all of my games are plus money or right at even money, I'm going to have a great year. Just like last year, I had a phenomenal year in Major League Baseball. A lot of people called me up. They saw the baseball record. They said, well, you only hit 50%. I said, yeah, but I only hit 50%. But that's because when you lose a game, you lose $100, and when you win a game, you win $150. Hey, you go 100 and 100 on the year, you're going to win 50 units. I mean, you're going to do pretty good. So remember, baseball is not a game of like basketball and football where you got to win the 52.4% to break even. Baseball, just try to. You can't lay a lot of juice, man. You just can't lay a lot of juice in a baseball game. Now, let's see if we can't get you one for Saturday. Let's see if we can't get one. Let's see if we can't get one for Saturday. This guy Leak going for St. Louis tomorrow. He's made 5 starts in his lifetime. 5 starts in his lifetime against the Cincinnati Reds. He's 0-3 himself, and the 2 games he didn't get the decision, the team lost. Mike Leake is 0-5. 0-3 on his record, 0-5 lifetime when starting against the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the problem is the guy going for the Reds, he's just 8-18 going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. This Bronson Arroyo guy, so that's not good either. But the bottom line is St. Louis don't have a good team this year. The St. Louis Cardinals aren't that good this year. They're 11-11, and I got them literally finishing last in their division. Now, they might not finish last, but I guarantee you they're not going to compete. And once again, a team that's 11-11, and in my power ranking isn't projected to have a good year, and the guy on the mound is 0-3 lifetime with a 5.64 ERA, and his team's record is 0-5 lifetime. Man, you can't lay $1.70 with this guy. You can't do it. You can't lay $1.70. Right now, the line on this game at Bookmaker, it opened St. Louis minus $1.70. And they still got it at minus $1.70. As bad as the guy going is for Cincinnati tomorrow, you cannot lay $17 to win $10 on the St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow. So I am going to pick here on the program. I am going to take the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cincinnati is going to be about plus $1.55. We're going to make sure we list Mike Leake as the pitcher. We don't care who pitches for Cincinnati. We don't care. For Cincinnati, it don't matter who pitches. We want Mike Leake on the mound. 0-3 lifetime record, 0-5 when he starts with the 5.6 ERA. We want Mike Leake on the mound tomorrow for the St. Louis Cardinals. So we'll take the Cincinnati Reds on Saturday, plus $1.55, listing Mike Leake, and then we're going to take the Philadelphia Phillies tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers, plus $1.60. And we're going to make sure that we list the pitcher for the Dodgers, that Maeda guy. Make sure that you list him, because once again, at 1-2 with the 8 ERA, man, he shouldn't be that big of a favorite. And then in the NBA tonight, we're going to take the Utah Jazz minus the 5.5 at home against the Los Angeles Clippers. We're going to buy it a half a point, knock it down to 5. So we got a baseball game that starts tonight at 9:10 Central Time. The Philadelphia Phillies We got a basketball game that starts tonight at 9:30 Central Time in the Utah Jazz. And then Saturday at 1 o'clock Central Time, we'll take the Cincinnati Reds plus $1.55. All right. That is going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Now, make sure you tell your family, you tell your friends, you tell your enemies, you tell anybody that likes horse racing to tune in next Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. We're going to go over all the horses running in the Kentucky Derby, all 20 of them. We're going to pick the winner of the race, the exacta, the trifecta, the superfecta. We're going to try to make some money. This is going to be a really good show if you like horse racing. And don't forget, if you missed the show, you missed the program, you'll be able to watch it in full on YouTube. This will be one of the programs that you can actually watch that night or early the next day, the next morning, because all the information on the show is going to be fresh. You know, a lot of times if you watch the program we do today, you watch it on Saturday, you only got one pick, the Cincinnati Reds, because the other two picks, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Utah Jazz, are going to go tonight. They're probably going to start maybe an hour and a half after I get the show up on YouTube. But next week is going to be totally different. So make sure that you tune in. All right, as always, I want to thank my man Don back in the studio. No glitches today, no problems. We got everything done pretty good. I want to thank Don. Of course, I want to thank my man TK, Tommy Chrysan, for putting me in the game. And, of course, the owner of Pelican Sports TV and Pelican Sports Radio, my man Alan, who allows me to do this program. I want to thank everybody who tunes in each week. And once again, bet with your head, not over it. Money management is the key to making money betting sports. As always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan, Scandaliato. Have a great weekend, everybody. So you got your taxes done and all that? I can't hear you. You got your taxes done and all that? You got Slick? Yes. Right. Right. No. Really? That had to suck. I will talk to you next week. Thank you, Don. Bye-bye. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Now, don't forget, next week, the Kentucky Derby program. Yep, we're going to be on from 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. And, of course, you can listen live to the program on PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com. And, of course, you'll be able to watch the rebroadcast of our special edition of Sportsline right here on YouTube, as we're going to be talking about the Run for the Roses, the first leg of the Triple Crown, the Kentucky Derby, run the first Saturday in May. So I'm really looking forward to next week's program. So tell your friends, tell your family, Tell people that you hate, because we're going to have some fun next Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. All right, as always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. Like I always say, bet with your head, not over it. Money management is the key to making money betting sports. I will see you in 167 hours right here on Sportsline.